columns and studs. Any member subjected to axial compressive load is called column or strut. Strut is any member which may be vertical, inclined, or horizontal, subject to compression. A vertical compression member is known as column. For example, pillar of the building. Classification of columns. According to nature of failure, short column and long column. A long column and short column difference. The difference between long column and short column. The length divided by least lateral dimension is greater than 12 is long column, and length by least lateral dimension is less than 12 short column. For example, the length of the column is 4 meter, that is 4000 millimeter, and its lateral dimensions are 400 millimeter and 200 millimeter. So least lateral dimension is 200 millimeter. So length 4000 divided by 200, we get 20. So 20 is greater than 12, so it is a long column. Another example, the same size of the column with the length is, instead of 4000, we take 2000. Length of the column is 2000. The least lateral dimension is 200. So 2000 divided by 200 is 10, which is less than 12, so it is a short column. Then failure mode of short column and long column. The long column, failure by buckling. So this is the failure mode of the long column by buckling. The corresponding load is known as buckling load or crippling load or critical load. And short column failure by crushing. So this is the crushing mode of failure. The corresponding load is known as crushing load. And next, the slenderness ratio, which is greater than 45, a short column, long column. The slenderness ratio is less than 45 is short column. Long column subjected to buckling stress, short column subjected to crushing stress. The radius of gyration is less for a long column. The radius of gyration is more in short column. The long column load carrying capacity is less, and short column load carrying capacity is more. Euler's column theory. Columns and struts which fail by buckling may be analyzed by Euler's theory. The load at which the column start buckles is called buckling load, crippling load, or critical load. Euler's crippling load P is equal to pi squared EI by L E square, where E is the Young's modulus, I moment of inertia, LE effective length of the column. Types of end condition of columns. First condition is both end hinged. The ends are hinged. Then both end fixed. Ends are fixed. Then one end fixed and other end hinged. This end is fixed and this end is hinged. One end fixed and other end free. This end is fixed. This end is free. These are the different type of end conditions of the column. Equivalent length of or effective length of the column. It is length of an equivalent column of same material and cross section with hinged ends and having the value of the crippling load equal to that of the given column. For different end conditions, equivalent length is different. Both end hinge, equivalent length or effective length is equal to actual length. For both end fixed, effective length is equal to half of the actual length, L by 2. And one end fixed and other end hinged, effective length that is equal to actual length divided by root 2. One end fixed and other end free. Effective length equals 2 times the actual length. Slenderness ratio. We know the crippling load P is equal to pi squared E I divided by LE square. Crippling or buckling takes place about the axis of least resistance. For example, a column having length L and breadth B and depth D, and it bisects in x-axis and y-axis, and the breadth B is less than depth D, so the buckling in y-axis. So buckling is shown in figure. Buckling takes place in y direction. So we know that moment of inertia I is equal to A into K square, where A cross-sectional area and K least radius of gyration. So substituting this value in the above equation, pi squared E instead of I, AK square and L divided by LE square is equal to pi squared E A divided by LE square by K square. We bring the K square the denominator. So this is equal to pi squared EA divided by LE by K the whole square. This LE by K, L effective length divided by least radius of gyration is known as slenderness ratio. Limitation of Euler's formula. We know the Euler's formula P is equal to pi squared EA divided by LE by K the whole square, and crippling stress is equal to P is equal to load by area P by A, that is pi squared E divided by LE by K whole square. The A is cancelled, that is P by A, so A will cancel. We know that the crippling stress is not more than crushing stress. So the Euler's formula will give the value of crippling stress of the column corresponding to the slenderness ratio. For example, mildly still, crushing stress is 330 Newton per millimeter square and 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per millimeter square. So substituting these values in equation 1, 330 that is equal to pi squared into 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 divided by LE by K the whole square. So solving we get LE by K is equal to 79.27, say about 80. So slenderness ratio is less than 80, the Euler's formula is not valid. Which means if the slenderness ratio is less than 80, this crushing stress will be more. We assume the crippling stress value is corresponding to crushing. So the crushing will be more. So we assume this 330 is the crushing stress. So if we L by K is more than 80, this will not be valid. So slenderness ratio is more than 80 is a long column and less than 80 is a short column. Therefore, the Euler's formula is valid only for long column.